Welcome to the Empower Women in Menopause podcast with your girl, Trudy German. I'm an online personal trainer and wellness coach for women going through perimenopause. Over here, we talk about all things perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal, and how to thrive through this transition. We speak openly and candidly about what going through this change really consists of, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we also dismiss a lot of the myths or all the myths and talk about how this change affects you mentally, emotionally, physically, and professionally. So let's get into this week's episode.
Hello, gorgeous. How you doing? Today, on today's episode, what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to be talking about 7 mistakes I see you making to get rid of belly fat during perimenopause. I like talking about the mistakes because I feel that sometimes you're making mistakes and you don't even realize it. When I started working out over 20 years ago, I was making a lot of mistakes, but I was still seeing results because at the time, I kind of had nature on my side. You know, the hormones were more balanced. They weren't out of whack as yet. But as I get older and I work with more women and I have conversations and I coach women and I see some when they come to me for the consultations, which I do have my program starting the end of January. Definitely click the link below so we can schedule a chat to see if we're a fit and if I can help you achieve your goals. And the more I realize that you're not seeing the results because you think you're doing some of these things, but they're hindering you. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your whatever you gonna grab, and let's jump into this. So I'm gonna just come swinging full force. I can't use any terminology for baseball because I don't know baseball, but let me just bat this right out. Let me just come swinging right out. Number 1, cardio. And I'm gonna drop my pen. Drop the mic. Cardio is, I find that whenever anyone, male or female, decide, I'm going to start losing weight, I want to lose fat, the first thing they do is go hard on cardio. And when I mean going hard on cardio, I mean an hour of cardio every day. They feel that they're going to go hard with cardio first, then, start doing other things. And I know you think this is the answer, but I promise you, it is not the long-term answer. Yes, you're going to see results. I am not disputing that. I will never dispute that. And I am not against cardio. What I am against is perimenopausal women doing an hour cardio 5-6 times a week, right? At this stage, you do not, and I repeat, you do not need that much cardio. Cardio is still important. You can walk every day for even 30 minutes because that is very low intensity. It is not sending your cortisol level through the roof. But going running, going jogging, pounding on the treadmill, doing all these classes at your local gym, Orange Theory, F45, stuff like that, doing an hour of that every day or even 4 days a week, 4 or more days a week, it is useless. It is gonna backfire. Because what happened is, of course, we're gonna get into cortisol. I know I've spoken about cortisol so many times. And as I said, yes, doing this may help, but what happens is doing it over an extended period of time will tell your body to store fat. This is not what you want to be doing if your goal is to get rid of belly fat. This is not what you want to be doing if you want to be getting rid of back fat anywhere, right? Because what it is doing, it is telling your body to burn fat. It is telling your body to break down muscles because that's catabolic. Once you start breaking down muscles, those muscles are turning into fat, right? And that's not what you want at this stage. So doing cardio that long for an extended period of time raises your cortisol level, right? And we've already discussed I'm going to stop saying we've already discussed, because whether or not you've listened to that podcast episode, I'm still going to tell you. When your cortisol level remains high, when it remains elevated, it is telling your body, I want to store fat, not burn fat. And of course, that is what's going to happen because your body is in stress mode. Remember, having your cortisol level high, raised, is not a problem. The problem is when it stays high. Yes, working out, lifting weights, any workout does apply stress. That's normal, but it's not supposed to keep it high. When you're doing an hour cardio every day, that is what's going to happen. At this stage, you do not need more than an hour cardio a week. Let that sink in, but I'm going to repeat it again. During perimenopause, if you're trying to lose belly fat, you need a maximum of an hour cardio a week. Not per day, boo-boo, not per day. Now, that can be 20 minutes, 3 times a week. Boom, you got your hour. It could be 30 minutes, 2 times a week. Boom, you got your hour. But that should be the max. You could be like me. I get like 40 minutes because I do 10 minutes at the end of some workouts. I'm lucky if I get 40 minutes or no, I usually do get 40 minutes. But it's usually 4 days a week in the gym, 10 minutes each. Or if it's going to be at home, 20 minutes twice a week. You do not need more than an hour cardio a week if you are perimenopausal and if you're looking to get rid of belly fat. Getting more than that, it is going to rebound. As I said, the first few weeks, the first few months, you will lose the fat. Don't get me wrong. But after that, that bad boy is going to keep packing on, and you're going to keep doing more cardio because you're going to think more. The more cardio you do, you're going to lose belly fat, and you're going to realize it is not happening. So cut down on that cardio. Split up your cardio to a maximum of an hour for the week. Next up, diet. I want you to think about what diet said. The first 3 letters in diet, DIE. I know a lot of trainers, a lot of fitness coach, a lot of wellness coach. They're like, oh, you need to clean up your diet. I don't like using the word diet because I think diet is something that is short term. And the reality is losing fat and getting rid of and keeping fat off, it is not or should not be short term. Yes, you can do something short term to lose it, to get rid of it. But the minute you stop, you're going to get it right back. I want you to think of getting rid of belly fat this way. What you do to get rid of it, you are teaching your body, you are telling your body, this is what you have to do to keep it off. Now, when you're counting calories, when you're eating once a day, when you're eating every other day, whatever method it is, I promise you, you cannot maintain it and the weight is going to come back tenfold, right? So stop dieting, because remember that when you don't eat enough, what does that lead to? When you're not getting enough, it can lead to you not having enough energy. When you don't have enough energy, you won't have the energy to work out later in the day. When you don't have enough energy because you did not eat enough, you will not sleep properly. I promise you will not sleep through the night. You will sleep, you will wake up a few times, you will toss and turn. And remember the ricochet effect. You don't eat enough, you don't have enough energy, you don't get to sleep properly, you don't get enough sleep. Those your hormones off that tells your body you're hungry and you're full, you start eating crap, right? So remember, diets are not sustainable. They are temporary, quick fixes. You are going to lose the fat. You're going to get rid of the fat, but I promise you, they're going to come back tenfold. They're going to come back and they're going to bring company. Dieting also leads to nutrient imbalances, right? Because usually when you diet, you're restricting or completely have eliminated certain food or food groups. When you keep eating the same thing over and over, you can have an excess of certain nutrients and an imbalance. When you start having imbalances, that comes with other issues. My thing is, what's the point of losing the fat, of getting rid of the fat, if now you're going to have other health issues? Because the pendulum swings both way, right? And of course, not eating enough may also tank your metabolism. Metabolism is how your body uses the food it eats and drink to turn it to energy. Not getting enough food, you may think that that's a great thing. Not getting enough food is not always a good thing, because over a long period of time, especially because that is going to slow down your metabolism. A slow metabolism is going to have you functioning slowly. It is going to slow down you getting rid of the fat that you want to get rid of, right? And also, when your metabolism slows down, it leads to fat storage, because you're losing muscles. So you start losing muscles. That muscles is turning into fat. A few things that I know may happen, and you may also experience it with dieting, is if you're not eating enough earlier in the day, what tends to happen at night is you overeat, right? It may lead to overeat, and you may think, oh, but I didn't have enough earlier in the day, so I'm okay. No. Overeating is still overeating. The minute you start having more food than your body needs at the moment or for the next few hours, it stores it as fat. And when you leave overeating, the truth is, we don't overeat on the good stuff. Whenever we are hungry or we want to overeat, we're not going to overeat on beef. We're not going to overeat on broccoli and quinoa. We're going to overeat on pizza, on pasta, on the processed stuff. It is what it is, right? Because then what happens is we usually tend to overeat because we're so hungry. And of course, our brain is like more. And then we start having the unhealthy stuff. So remember to have balanced meals throughout the day. Remember, I've mentioned in other podcast episodes, eat when you're hungry. Stop eating when you're full. If you ain't hungry, don't eat. Look at your plate. Half of it should have fiber, healthy carbs. The quarter of it, lean protein. The next quarter of it supposed to have healthy fat, right? You need balanced meals because your hormones need it. It increases your chance of getting rid of fat. It decreases cravings. Lots of times when you're experiencing cravings for sugar or salt, it could be because your meals are not balanced. Of course, having regular, healthy, balanced meals help to keep you full longer, and it prevents you from skipping meals, because when you start skipping meals, you can also increase your cortisol level. And I feel like I'm beating the cortisol level over your head now, but I want you ladies to understand it. This is like repetition. You have to hear certain things. You have to hear things, I think, like 7 or 9 times before it actually sinks in. And if you've been listening to my podcast episodes, baby, which I hope you are, which I know you are, then you've heard that. So I want you to start thinking about some of the things that you're doing that may be increasing your cortisol level and making it harder for you to get rid of the belly fat that you complain about, baby, that you don't want. And notice that I've been more conscious of using the word losing, because I'm like, we don't want to get it back. When we lose something, we want to get it back, and we don't want to get this back. All right. Next up, quick fixes. And I get it, because I'm going to be honest, I have tried quick fixes years ago. So quick fixes, you're like, what are quick fixes? Quick fix is looking for overnight results. It could be drinking flat tummy tea. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know how I detest these things. It could be drinking flat tummy tea. It could be rubbing creams on your body. It could be using laxatives. What else? It could be using waist trainers, wrapping your stomach, anything that promises a result in like a crazy, unrealistic amount of time. And the thing with quick fixes, they're useless. They do not work. Now, when you start using them, especially the flat tummy tea, detox tea, whatever kind of tea, what's going to happen is they have senna. You know what senna is? Senna is laxative. So you live in the bathroom. Whenever I see women promoting this, I'm like, first of all, how y'all enjoy going to the bathroom that much that you keep taking these things? 1, 2, when you take these teas, what do you do for the rest of the day or week or however often? Because I'm like, this really have you living in the bathroom. And I'm like, this is not healthy, right? You're losing weight. You're not losing fat, meaning you're losing water weight, right? Because you keep going to the bathroom, so that dehydrates you. So when you get on the scale, of course it's going to be lighter. That's one. When you look in the stomach, of course everything's going to look flatter. Think about when you're sick and you haven't eaten for days, how much your stomach looks flatter, how much weight you lose. Think about how dry your face look, right? I have a girlfriend, she was sick for a few weeks and we were joking. She's like, hey, at least I lost the weight, but she's gonna have to put it back on because she didn't lose it in a healthy way. And also, another thing that happens is it is unhealthy. You are dehydrating your body. So if you've ever seen anyone, notice the women who are always promoting this. Like, if it works, why you gotta keep doing it every week? It is unhealthy, right? So stop. Please don't use those things, because the minute you start eating, you're gonna gain back the weight, and then it's a vicious cycle. Same thing with the creams. You cannot rub any cream on your body to lose weight. Same thing with the pills. Years ago, I think when it was like hydroxycut or one of those were the thing, I did try them and I did not last. I'm like, no wonder women lose weight off of this, because the caffeine dosage was so high on it. It's like you have a ridiculous amount of energy where you could be in the gym for hours lifting. And I'm like, yeah, but I still need to sleep. I still have other things to do. So please throw the quick fixes through the window. If you have any right now, go and flush them, throw them in the garbage. Don't give them to anyone, because they're not gonna work, right? So those are some of the things that I see a lot of women doing on a regular. I may do a podcast on cosmetic surgery, because that's also something that's highly on the rise in the fitness industry and on social media that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'll maybe I'll share my opinion on that in a while. But for now, yeah, keep away from the quick fixes, please, and thank you. So instead of doing the quick fixes, you know what you need to do? Get up and work out. Go to bed early. Get enough sleep. Make sure you're having balanced meals. Make sure you are drinking water. I want you to remember this. You did not gain the fat that you want to lose overnight. You did not gain it in a week. You did not gain it in a month. I promise you. Now, you think you did, because it seems like one day you woke up and nothing's fitting. One day you woke up and you went up like from a medium to a large. It did not happen overnight. It was slowly happening, but you kind of ignored it. Maybe you were delusional, whatever the reason is. But I want you to stop looking at getting rid of belly fat during perimenopause as an Amazon delivery, as a microwave. It is not. You have to do the work. You have to be consistent. It takes time. You have to be patient. You're here because you're a woman currently going through perimenopause, right? You feel lost, confused, you're constantly tired, moody, anxious, and grumpy. You don't recognize yourself, but you want to feel vivacious. You want to feel energetic. You want to feel sexy and happy, right? You want to feel like yourself again. Well, if this is you and you're ready to start feeling like you again while going through perimenopause, then I am definitely here to help you with that. Let's schedule a free consultation and let's chat and see how I can help you. Just go ahead and check the description below and the link is there. Speaking of patience, something else that I see is the lack of patience, right? You are impatient. Once again, you are not where you are overnight. You did not just wake up and you were there. It took a while. So I want you to be patient. This is something I see and I hear a lot of women complain about. I've been doing everything and I haven't seen any results. First of all, what is everything? When they've told me what everything is, baby, you've done two things. One, and you've done those two things either incorrectly, like an hour of cardio every day, and eating 1,000 calories a day, right there, those are two wrong things, baby. Or even if they're doing the right things, or you're doing the right things, you haven't given yourself enough time. You've only done it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It doesn't work like that, baby. I want you to remember, it takes time. It is a process. It did not and it won't happen overnight. I want you to remember these numbers. And this is something whenever I have consultation with women about, I make sure I establish this, because I'm not selling you a false hope. I am not about to have you walk up in my program being delulu, thinking, oh, in 2-3 weeks, we gonna lose all of that, right? I want you to think about it. It takes 4 weeks for you to start feeling the difference. 4 consistent weeks, not 1 week, then you take 3 weeks off, then you come back 2 weeks. No, 4 consistent weeks, baby, for you to feel the difference. About 6 weeks for others to notice and start complimenting you. For example, your spouse, people at work, family member, other people. And then about 8 weeks for you to actually see the difference. You see where I'm going with this, baby? So this is not an overnight process. This is something that I want you to start thinking about it as this is a marathon. It is not a sprint, because you did not gain the weight overnight. So stop looking to lose it overnight. It is this impatience, this culture. And don't get it twisted. I am part of that culture with certain things, and I have to remind myself, right? This Amazon culture, this click now, we get everything now. It doesn't work like this. Something that you can do to help with being impatient is, I want you to stop focusing on fat loss. And how long is this taking? I want to lose 10 pounds. She said in about 12 weeks, in about 16 weeks. It's been only 4 weeks. I want you to stop looking at how long it's taking you to get the results, to get there, and instead focus on what you need to do daily, what habits you need to do on a regular basis, and complete those, get them done. Don't just think about them, do them. Because remember, where you are is a result of the habits, of the decisions you've made, of what you're doing regularly, right? So you want to see changes, you have to incorporate regular habits. You have to do something every day, every week to get you where you want to be. And I promise you, if you start focusing on that, as opposed to, I haven't lost the 10 pounds yet. I promise you start focusing on the daily habits, you are going to get your results so fast where you're like, oh, we here already, because you shifted your focus from the end result to what you need to do daily and actually do it. Next up, we got on the list, your workouts are too intense. What does that mean? Your workouts, you're working out every day. Your workouts are intense. You're drained after your workouts. You're not resting your body. You are not taking enough time off. You are going ham. I don't curse, but HAM. I'm gonna let you figure out what that M is. Jay-Z has a song, he go ham. I'm gonna let you figure out what that M word is. It's technically 2 words, MF, but every time you step into the gym or to work out at home, you go hard. You do not need to go hard on every workout at this stage. Why? Drum roll. Cortisol. Remember, we need our cortisol level to come down. We do not need our cortisol level to stay high at all times. Now, when we work out, whatever the workout is, whether it's lifting weights, swimming, whatever, what happens is, of course, cortisol level is high, right? That is fine. Remember, cortisol is supposed to go up and it's supposed to come down. Go up when you're working out, it's supposed to come back down. Go up when you see a car and you need to run, it comes back down. Go up with excitement because you got a raise, you got a promotion, it comes back down, right? It's a fight or flight hormone. The problem comes in when it stays high. Keeping your workouts intense every time you go to workout at this stage, baby, because of our hormones, it is going to stay high. You do not want it to be like that. You want it to come down, because when your workouts are too intense and it keeps your cortisol level high, what happens is it causes cravings. It triggers cravings. What do we crave? Not broccoli, not sweet potatoes, not salmon. We crave salty, fatty, and sweet foods. And what do those do? Sit where? Where do they sit, baby? They sit right on our stomach, and that cycle continues. And you start going harder, and then you're not seeing results, and you go harder. Baby, you're still not seeing results, so you figure you gotta go harder. No. If you're gonna be working out intense all the time, you're not gonna see the results. My suggestion is, how many days are you gonna be working out? Are you gonna be working out 4 days? Okay, 4 days, probably every other day. Maybe one day you go heavy. First and third day, you go heavy. Second and fourth day, you go light. If you're going to be working out 6 days a week, I work out 6 days a week. 3 to 4 of those are heavy, and the next 3 to 4, depending on what's going on that week, is light. But I am conscious of that, right? Because you do not want to keep the cortisol level high, because what happens, as I said before, when cortisol level remains high, you will not be burning fat. For you to burn fat, you got to bring down that cortisol level. You also want to make sure that you are eating after your workout to drop your cortisol level. Please do not complete an intense workout and just carry on. Your cortisol level is going to stay high. And what happens when our cortisol levels stay high, ladies? Say it with me. Our body goes to store fat instead of burn fat. Please, I don't want you to think I'm being condescending, because I'm not. I'm just trying to make it fun so you can remember it. As I like to say, I give you the information, govern yourself accordingly, baby. Now, if you're losing fat from everywhere else except your stomach, it's not budging, that's also a sign that your cortisol level is high. So make sure you look at that, and then you definitely want to start doing the things. Go back and listen to the episode. I think episode 5, 6, one of them, it is programmed here, where I talk about how you can tell if your cortisol level is high and what to do to bring it down. Okay. And next up, what is this? Is this one number 6? Yay! I hope you're enjoying these podcast episodes, right? I hope you are really learning, because I get such a joy out of teaching you ladies. Like, I literally love it. I love teaching you ladies these things, because I'm like, I wish I knew more about this 5 years ago. I would have been able to help some of my clients better. So I hope you are not just listening, but you're also implementing. Of course, I want you to listen. Of course, I want the download counts to go up. I'm not going to front, but it's also very important to me that you implement these things so you can see the change, so you can experience it for yourself and be like, okay, she ain't just talking for talking's sake. Like, what she says really does work. And of course, that will, influence you to come on over to my Thrive, Transform, and Glow Through Perimenopause program, where we're starting the end of January in 2024. So definitely click the link below to schedule your call so we can talk. Let's jump into the last two. Not lifting heavy enough. Okay, first of all, before I go deeper into that, let me tell you how you know if you're lifting heavy enough or not, because everyone's heavy is gonna be different. If you're just starting out exercising, or if you're returning, your lifting heavy is gonna be completely different than someone who's been working out or lifting for like 3, 4, 5 years consistently. So the rule is if let's just say you're going to do 8 to 10 reps, right? The last 2 to 4 reps, the weight that you choose should feel challenging, but you should still be able to complete those reps with good form and technique. If you set out to do 8 to 10 reps and you get to 3 reps, you count to 3 and you tap out, you cannot. Your weight is too heavy. You need to drop that bad boy. So this is one of those things where you got to play around to figure out which weight is right for you. And of course, what your lower body can handle is going to be different than your upper body, right? Legs are larger muscles, so you can definitely lift heavier in the lower body. If you're doing bicep curls, those are going to be smaller muscles, so not as heavy. Back and chest are bigger muscles than bicep and tricep, so you'll be able to go heavier. So this is something that when women work with me in my Thrive, Transform, and Glow Through Perimenopause program, I help them to figure out. So definitely click the link below to come on over. So you need to lift heavy, and no, you're not going to look bulky. No, you're not going to look like a man. No, you're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? You need to lift heavy because remember, at this stage during perimenopause, estrogen is declining. With that decline, so does your muscles. And with that decline in estrogen and muscles, fat is increasing. Estrogen gives you energy to burn more fat. So when you start lifting heavier, you're building more muscles, you have more energy to not only burn fat during your workout, you're also burning fat when you're working, when you're driving to work, when you're sitting on the couch, while you're listening to me right now. Hey. So those are some of the reasons, right? It helps you to build stronger bones. Remember, during perimenopause, our risk of osteoporosis increases. So we want to lift heavier to protect our bones, not just to be bikini ready, not just for the 6-pack. Those are fun and those are aesthetically pleasing, but I also want you to think of your health reasons, because as I like to say, what's the point of having a flat stomach? What's the point of having a 6-pack if your bones can't allow you to walk properly and show it off? Like, why, baby? Why? Right? So definitely lift heavier. Yes, so that helps with that. You also, if you experience joint pains like knee pains, back pains, that's usually because the muscles surrounding those joints, so the muscles around your knees could be your quads, not could be, are your quads, your calves, your hamstrings. Those muscles may need to be strengthened, right? If you have lower back pain, your booty, may need to be strengthened, right? So when you start strengthening the muscles around the joints that are aching, you notice that the pain, those pains are completely eradicated at some point, right? So please make sure that you are lifting heavy. And also lifting heavy weights also increases your immune system and drops belly fat, because you're now burning fat all over, right? And the 7th thing that I see a lot of you doing, and some of my clients do it too, and I had to get on them, is not resting. Rest is important. You do not need to work out 7 days a week, okay? You do not need to work out 7 days a week. I've seen a lot of trainers on the gram talking about them working out 7 days a week and how amazing they look. Good for you, boo-boo. You in your 20s. Us in our 40s and perimenopausal, where our hormones are, they're all over the place when they feel like it. We cannot, should not, and better not be doing that if you are looking to get rid of belly fat. If you're doing that and you are struggling to lose belly fat, ladies, baby, I'm gonna need you to scale it back, right? Not resting, your cortisol level stays high. I'm not gonna repeat what happens again, because I felt like I've said it enough, especially in this podcast. When you don't rest, your muscles don't build and repair. Guess what? You don't build muscles during your workout. No, no, no. You tear them apart during your workout. You build muscles when you rest. But please don't go say, okay, well, Trudy said I build muscles when I rest, so I don't need to work out. You still need to work out, then rest. Resting alone ain't gonna build it. So you need that. And you'll also find that when you take rest, when you take days off in between, when you take a day off and you come back, you have more strength, right? So with more strength, of course, you can lift heavier. No, you won't look like a man, but you can lift heavier, which means you're going to burn more calories, which means you're going to burn more calories from around your stomach. You lift heavier, your energy increases, your mood increases. Remember, when your energy increases and your mood increases, you are more productive. When your energy and your mood increases, you are more inclined to do what is required to take care of you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You are more inclined to take care of the people around you. You're more inclined to do life, right? And what happens is you'll continue to have energy. You'll continue to have energy because remember, at this stage, our energy tanks real quick. So, resting not only make you feel better, it also gives you energy. So please stop making these mistakes. Let me just go over them. So the mistakes that you have been making, I'm going to go backward. Number 7, not resting. So you're working out every day. The next one is not lifting heavy enough. Prior to that, you're impatient with the results. Next up, your workouts are too intense. Above that, number 2, you're dieting. And number 1, excess cardio. So like an hour cardio a day. So which one of these have you been doing? Which one of these have you continued to do? And be honest. What are the results you're seeing? Are you happy with the results you're seeing? Or are you getting the results that I said that you kind of sort of won't be getting, right? Comment below. And definitely, as I said, my new program, my 3-month program starts the end of January 2024, and it is Thrive, Transform, and Glow through Perimenopause. So it's basically where, I'm teaching you how to reduce and eventually eliminate a lot of these symptoms. And of course, to definitely get rid of belly fat, because this is the number one thing you ladies come to me with. I want to lose belly fat. I want to get rid of it. So definitely click the link below to come on over. And bye, gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And as I've mentioned before, my goal is to empower women in menopause. And by you sharing this episode with other women, share it on your stories, then you will definitely be helping me help other women. So go ahead and share it on your stories. And please, when you share it, don't forget to tag me at Train with Trudy. Until the next episode, have a fabulous one.